What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I am Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LaBeouf, and I kind of combed my hair this week, and y'all got some lipstick. So, hey, it's a win for all of us. It's a win for all of us. But I'm glad to be back with you. We took a little break.
Yeah, and it's all right. I was busy. I was busy with fights and WBC Women's Summit, but the interviews are still coming, guys. Don't worry.
So much content. Tell us for the folks who didn't know about what the WBC Summit had going on, talk a little bit about, what they were presenting and what you did with them.
The WBC Women's Summit, it was the first of its kind. I didn't know what to expect because I've been to the convention many times. And, I was like, is it really necessary? And actually, when I was there, being in the presence of so many world champions, former champions, and just people in boxing, and even fans were able to attend and buy tickets. It wasn't a ticket. It was basically a donation to the Jose Suleiman Boxing Fund. So it goes back to the boxers. But I really enjoyed it because there were several topics, a lot of topics that everyone has Twitter thumbs and Twitter warriors that we talked about, 3-minute rounds, 2-minute rounds, safety, just everything that we always talk about, Jeandra, and what people always talk about, we discussed. And then people even shared stories, like especially I was floored when they were talking about WBC does not support having transgenders fighting for their belt, which I applaud them because they took a stance and they said the reasons why. They had the girl that fought, that girl, I forgot, the Olympian that it caused an uproar. I forgot the name. It starts with a K. They had the girl who fought her and lost. And I mean, she looked so young. She was from Mexico. And Mauricio had to translate everything that happened. She went into full-on deep depression. And I mean, it was a sad story. And she was like, you know what? The first 2 rounds I won, but then in the last round, it was like a different type of power, a different type of hit that it was hitting me. She's like, I've never felt a punch like that. And it was really telling. It gave us goosebumps because we all saw everything. We saw it happening on TV, but we never heard the person speak. And this other girl, Florencia, she fought for TCL. She came out and said she sparred her too. And she said she had a different scent. And it was just like sparring her. She was like really, really sore after. So it was wild, just hearing a lot of stories. And it was interesting. It was really good. There weren't debates. It was a lot of support from males in the boxing world of what the key issues were. And I think one of my favorite parts was Tiara Brown, who dethroned Sky Nicholson, was awarded her WBC belt by Laila Ali.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
It was such a beautiful, beautiful moment. I mean, I don't know how many girls have gotten their belt from Laila Ali. Her picture is on the belt.
So that's a great question.
Yeah, girl. I mean, and that was another favorite part of mine, that Laila Ali, I was able to get an interview with her and Chrissy Martin. And it was fun. So don't worry, guys. Those interviews are going to be going up next week because we have all the MVP stuff going on. This Taylor Serrano 3. I have Naomi Vaya, she's most valuable person. She just got signed. And with her sister Yoka, she's in the interview. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But those 2 interviews, I wanted to give a nice full week from the WBC Summit. But overall, it was needed. And I think I wish more people attended because for as much outrage, everyone complains, men and women, that place should have been packed. Because if you have all these burning questions or you're ripping Mauricio, or you're ripping into women's boxing, whatever, that should have been the place for you to just speak your piece, speak your mind, and get questions and hopefully get answers. So, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, and I did learn, and I'm going to do also that 5 things I learned about the WBC. I learned that the WBC champions, female champions, don't have to pay a sanctioning fee, unlike the men. That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
That's great.
Chipping away at an already underpaid purse. So we love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is Amanda Serrano's a WBC champion, right?
Yeah, she's undisputed.
Ooh, so I wonder if they get the same privilege too, since they're so much more highly compensated.
I don't know.
Holla
Mike
at me.
Leonardi.
Holla at me.
Mike Leonardi, I just saw on his IG, well, because they just did the face off at MSG.
Mhm.
There's basketball game and he's sitting front row. I was like, ooh, fancy. So it looked good.
Wow, good for him. Good for him.
hmm But yeah, I can't wait because it's got girl, we have to go to this fight. Like
When is this fight again?
it's in July 11th.
Y'all, viewers, you know what to do. You know what to do. Slide your girls some coins so we can go to the fight. We want to go to the fight. We didn't get to go to the first two. So,
Yeah.
maybe the third time's the charm, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And
Fingers
it's a
crossed.
good ass card. They're gonna
Yeah.
name the opponents for Naomi, Nat Dove, and Dina Thorsland. So
Mm,
yeah, but as we already know, Alicia
Jake
Baumgardner has
Paul.
Jennifer Miranda. Yeah, it's a good ass card. So
Jake Paul keeping women's boxing alive over there single-handedly.
single-handedly, we talked
Yeah.
about the and I did say this. I go, I I hosted a panel for the WBC Women's Summit, and it was for women and amateurs. But I asked a very broad question, with the shift in boxing right now for women, where do you see it going? Because it all starts in the amateurs, but then the amateurs, they have to go somewhere. They got to go to the pros. What do they do? And some girls don't want to do it. They don't want to have a longer amateur career because they feel going pro helps them get money and sponsors. But the case is
Mm.
very different right now.
Yeah, the divide is so great. It's like I don't know. You know who should talk a lot about that is Sinisa Estrada. I
hmm
remember very early when she was making the decision to go from amateur to pro, how that was she was favored to go into her second Olympics,
Yeah.
go into the Olympics, but she opted to turn pro because she wanted to start making money. I don't know, the way the boxing landscape has shifted since that time in the last fight, it was looking very promising. I mean, it is still very
It
promising. I'm
still
still
is.
very optimistic about women's boxing, but this whole Saudi shift has not been very beneficial to women at all. In fact, I don't even understand why we have women's ring rankings if we have no women on the cards.
Yeah.
Can the women get on the card? I mean, no one expects them to do a full women's card, but can we get one fight? I mean, the rankings are in the magazine, and I just finished the latest magazine. I read the whole thing. Very nice. The magazine is very nice.
You just mentioned Saudi, and we're gonna have Jose Benavidez Sr. on very shortly to discuss the bombshell that was dropped yesterday. Girl,
Mm.
it was like, you know what? When I sent it to you, and you sent, is it a duck? And I said, you know what? I felt that when I first read the post, but now when I think about it, and then I think about Bivol, Beterbiev, the WBC, Canelo, I don't believe Bivol is ducking because there was a trilogy already set.
Hmm.
And I get it that Turkey said whoever wins gets the David Morrell fight, and Benavidez gets the winner of Bivol Beterbiev, but there was a 50-50 chance it was going to be a trilogy. That post that Turkey put out, it almost sounded, at first I'm like, is that a threat? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not bidding on the fight, but I understand why now. But a
Mm.
lot of things have been coming out about, Mauricio came out and said some stuff. Um, David has come out and said some stuff. I'm waiting for Canelo to say something.
There's a lot going on out there. So,
Yep, yep. And for me, before we get on the thing, like we can discuss this with Jose. At first, I'm like, you know what? Maybe Bivol. I didn't know what was in the letter by the when he vacated from his attorney, from Bivol's attorney. I'm like, maybe because the whole thing with the WBC not sanctioning Russian fighters
could be.
could be.
Maybe
And
he's being this shit. What was his court case about? Wasn't he having some court
Bivol's
stuff? Yeah.
with his ex-wife.
Was it
Allegedly he domestic abuse.
some domestic
Allegedly.
abuse?
Yeah, like something to that nature. So
Why do you think Turkey's not interested in that fight anymore? Bivol Benavidez, all the B's, Bivol Benavidez. Why do you think he's not? Why do you think he said he's not interested in bidding on it? Because I mean, when you look at Benavidez, he keeps growing and he keeps growing, and his notoriety grows every time, and it's always a constant pursuit of Canelo. But I mean,
Yeah,
why do you
he
think?
even based on Turkey's tweet, he believed that the better fight was Benavidez versus Bivol versus instead of Canelo versus Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
So I maybe, I'm just throwing this out there and do not come for me, guys. But maybe since Turkey is now with Canelo, he's like, I don't need Benavidez.
Or maybe
Uh,
Canelo told him straight up, "I'm not fighting him."
yeah, maybe we do
We don't
not
know.
know. We don't know, but allegedly the purse for the trilogy for the second fight for Bivol Beterbiev was 2.7 million. Hey, that's still 2.7 million. And David Benavidez, they allegedly offered for Bivol fight because he's the mandatory is 8 million.
Mm, mm.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know if Jose
Well,
will
you know what?
stay.
Either way, he probably would have had to vacate anyway, because if he wouldn't have been able to fight Benavidez, because the WBC is not going to sanction a belt. So he was kind of caught, in hindsight, he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. He wouldn't have been
No,
able,
no, the fight was sanctioned because Bivol
or
is
Bivol.
it was a sanctioned fight, but the problem is that when Benavidez fought for Morel, he also when he won Morel, he also grabbed the WBA mandatory title, I think, which is also Bivol.
Mhm.
So Benavidez was his mandatory for two
Both
belts.
ways.
But I don't know what's happening. What I read, the IBF. Who's the IBF? Oh,
So
here.
then, so then if he's not interested, so Turkey's not interested in putting the fight on. He said that in May.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we get to Bivol vacating the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Benavidez was his mandatory for two sanctioning bodies.
Yeah, I haven't
He's
heard
gonna
from
have to pay.
WBA. I haven't
So
heard
we're gonna
any.
have to, the tea we have to get from Jose Sr. is, what kind of step aside money are they giving you? Because I would
Uh,
enforce my right. He could enforce his right. If he's the mandatory for two sanctioning bodies, he's just got elevated to the
no, no.
WBC
Yeah, I
light
don't think
heavyweight.
there's a step aside. I don't think
Well, if
because
you're the
if
mandatory and they don't fight you, you either got to drop the belt or you got to pay him some money.
he
So
dropped the belt,
he dropped the
Bebo.
WBC belt, but what about the
Yeah,
WBA belt?
that one I don't know. That's the T we're gonna have to ask because all I hear is Mauricio saying something, and I saw in that Spanish clip from Chava, and people translated that that because that was the purse. Whatever Mauricio put out, that Patrick English, Beebles' lawyer, put out sent him some scathing letter. But I mean, based off the letter that I have here, that the press has. I mean, it doesn't seem as scathing. We had a trilogy in place,
And that's what
and
we're trying to get.
yeah, and Matt, we've always talked about this for anyone to get a rematch and a trilogy all in like within 2 years. That's bonkers.
That's
So
life changing money. He could fight that third fight and they could both retire if they wanted to.
yeah,
For that. That's some life
yeah.
changing money.
Yeah, and but then if you think about it, let's just say, okay, the trilogy it obviously will happen. Whoever wins, if they don't retire, whoever wins, if Bivol will go fight Benavidez, unless he
I feel
decides
for
to, unless he moves up in weight, which because
I
he's
feel
already
for
done everything.
Benavidez.
I do too. It's you know,
He's really, this really sucks for him. I know there's a lot of people who like to hate on Benavidez.
mhm.
Any fighter can be polarizing, but at this point, can we clearly state that these people are not trying to give this man a fight? And we need to get to the bottom line. Why? Is it fear? Like, why? Where's the machismo? Where are the
He
huevos?
He has been the mandatory. He's fought
Híjole.
everyone to be the mandatory. And it's weird because I love WBC, I love Mauricio, but when it comes to like sanctioning fights, you know, Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory for like a billion years. And then
Canelo said, fuck that mandatory.
yeah, and then we never got that fight. And then when it's Beebles mandatory, oh, he has to fight Benavidez, and it's like, wait a minute, where's the grace? Like, wait.
What if the great weird thing that's going to happen is because Bitter BF has a relationship with PBC, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken, maybe we're going to get Benavidez Better
Top rank
BF.
in PBC alignment very soon.
Do they want to do things together? Better BF already has I'm assuming a decent relationship with Al Heyman and the PBC side because he was over there for a while. So maybe we're going to get Better BF Benavidez. Ooh, I like that too.
Brittany
That's a smart.
Goosen, paging
Brittany.
Brittany Goosen.
Oh, I like that fight. That's a great fight. That's a fantastic fight. If they were fighting, where do you think they fought? They fight Vegas?
Vegas.
Who's the A
Vegas.
side?
Who has the belts? All the belts.
Oh yeah. Well, we gonna find out after Jose jumps
will
on
find
here.
out.
David might have two by the time Jose get on here.
So based on this, I mean, like I said, maybe Jose will stay. So they said, what was it? Benavidez and his team not only stood its ground, but doubled down for they appealed to modify the purse bid terms to a 55-45. Today was supposed to be purse bid day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he vacated yesterday, rather than the traditional 75-25 split in favor of the title holder, which is Bivol. WBC's Board of Governors did not honor the request in written form, but agreed to adjust to 60-40 in favor of Bivol. Damn.
That's a big difference in money.
That is huge, like from 55 to 45 to the traditional 75-25, but to 60-40. I mean,
No wonder
really
he said, I ain't doing this shit. I'm gonna go fight my own fight over there with Turkey and them. Get all
I remember when Devin Haney became the email champ and he got so much shit for it wasn't his fault. It wasn't. And everyone blamed Devin.
yeah.
And I remember interviewing him for it. I go, he's like, it's shit that everyone blames me. Like I asked for this email belt. And
Yep.
now David, he fought everyone he was supposed to fight and then some. And he was elevated. I mean, and it really sucks that like you have to vacate. It's almost when we want the sanctioning bodies to do what they're supposed to do, they don't. And then when they don't do it, it's like they're supposed to do it. No one's ever
What
happy.
happened to the franchise champion thing?
Girl, I think that shit's out. I think I
You know what messed it up? This is a conspiracy theory. So remember, who was the first one? Loma or Canelo? Was Canelo first?
I think it's Loma.
So Loma, then Canelo. And so at that time, that's when Big Charlo was still whipping people's ass. And I think Big Charlo was supposed to be the next franchise champ. They said, hell no. I mean, that's probably a hell no. They probably are glad they did, but
yeah, I think
the franchise champion.
I think it's gone because I've had many debates with Mauricio about. I'm like, what was the purpose of this?
It just vanished.
So you can go fight in other weight classes, but still hold your place. Like, well, what about the other people waiting in line?
Because did they try to? Was Devin was never a franchise champion, right?
No.
Okay, man.
But he was. I mean, he got the worst of it all.
He did. He still gets, man, Devin can't get a break. And I mean, he just seems like
he's a good kid.
He's always been respectful to me. I always found him to be
a good kid.
Respectful. He works hard. He loves his siblings and his family. So I don't understand. He gets a lot of hate. I mean,
it's Bill. Because it's Bill. Bill's the one that's doing all the talking. I mean,
them daddies will get some hate. Bill Haney, Garcia,
Danny Garcia, Teofimo Lopez Sr.,
Ruben Guerrero.
Oh yeah.
To Ruben Guerrero. Ruben Guerrero loved one time at a press conference. Ruben Guerrero just came and laid one on me. I was like, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, like,
but it was cool. I was cool with it. I didn't feel no way about it. I thought that was sweet. He was like, what's up?
Oh yeah, so we have so many questions to ask, and then on top of it, Diego Pacheco, who is also one of Jose's fighters, he had a he was supposed to fight Christian and Billy, who
Mhm.
is like the mandatory, or it's like for a mandatory title for the super middleweight. They decided to not fight him and go to fight Trevor McCumbee, the one that fought Caleb Plant. I'm like,
That's right. That's right.
eh, I,
Hmm.
I don't.
I don't know. I
That
don't
doesn't
know,
make
girl.
sense because there's no belt for Trevor McCumbee,
They
and
want
I
a
go
light touch. No,
and
respectfully, Trevor.
And that's it's a tough fight. And Mbili is a tough fight,
Yes,
but
it
we
is.
saw Diego Pacheco pull out. Who did he just last fight? I forgot, but he really showed his grit. He got in the mud on that one. I really thought that would be the next step. So that's another question we're gonna ask Jose. Like, what's happening here?
On a whole nother subject, totally unrelated to anything. Shout out to all of you for getting it popping on our channel over the last 2 weeks. Shout out to Cynthia for the content. Shout out to y'all for watching it. We
Yes, no,
appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Subscribe, please. We crossed 6,000 subscribers and we're very happy. I feel like I need a like a little thing with the confetti.
What
A
doesn't
little,
our Zoom do it when we do
oh
something and then
yeah,
it just
it's
starts
like,
doing
wait, let me see. Where's the little react things? Okay, there we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yay. So
Ah.
congrats to us. And I don't know. Boxing is still in a very funny place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot shifted over to the other continent. And I'm happy. I'm always so torn about it because I'm always happy to see really good fights, but
Yeah.
we want to play too. Why do we
Well,
can't?
we're gonna play it because Caleb Plant is coming out and fighting
Yes.
and Charlo. They both have to win their respective fights. I don't know who they're fighting,
Mhm.
but it's supposed to be like, and you know what, Edgar Berlanga, that post he put out about Caleb Plant being like just a disgrace to boxing and who he's fighting. I'm like, do you not remember who you fought in a ballroom in Orlando, which I love the hotel, but do you remember as a co-main event? I'm just saying, like,
I'm still waiting for him. Did J-Lo ever come to the fight?
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
still
know.
waiting for Fat Joe was there. Shout out to Fat Joe. I talked to him before about going
Yeah.
to your fight, but I don't recall seeing J-Lo, Jenny from the Block, coming to the fight. So Berlanga, you're very, very, you know what you know how to get the people talking for sure. But I will say this about Berlanga that he gonna talk a little crazy, but he haven't said nothing real out of bounds yet,
No.
like some of these other ones. And keep it that way, Berlanga. Keep it that way.
We'll see. Like we'll see.
Yeah, no, he hasn't gone full heel yet, as they say in
Yeah.
wrestling streets. So yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Real fast, I wanted to, I don't know if you saw the fights. I saw the last two rounds of Joe Joyce. Like I tuned in and it was done, and I'm like, he still fights very slow, like underwater. I'm not the only one that thinks that. And
Yeah.
everyone's saying retire, retire. He says I'm going for more.
Wow. Yeah, there's fights available, I guess. But yeah, his last victory surprised me because I didn't expect him to win that fight.
Hmm.
This time out, he looked like I expect him to look. So I don't know. Maybe he had lightning in a bottle for his previous win.
Now,
But Joe Joyce,
I,
I've always thought, I mean, he definitely is better than average, but I've never been like a true believer. Lovely person to meet and shake his hand, but among the elite, I just never saw it. But
yeah. What was so weird seeing Hergovich and Abel Sanchez, it was in the corner. I didn't know he was still training. You know what? We should get him on the show. He's so like I just thought he
I
was
haven't talked to him in a long time. Yeah, I like that.
I have his number. I'm gonna hit him up and be like, "Hey, let's talk some boxing." Now
Yeah.
that I know that you're in it to win it again. He was in the corner of Hergovich, who beat Joe Joyce, and Abel Sanchez used to train Joe Joyce when Gennady was still with Abel Sanchez. Like it
That's
was
right.
wild. That's wild. No, but wow. And Abel still looks the same. Oh, today, happy birthday, Gennady. Today's his birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, Triple G.
I know.
Triple G. I still think it was a missed opportunities that you guys didn't have a belt drive where you encourage people to bring their belts so we could give them to the youths that sag in their pants. I told Tom Loeffler when you kept saying, "Bring me my belts," we should have had a belt drive for these kids.
Oh
But
my
shout
God,
out to
that's
you.
so
Happy
cute.
birthday.
I
Happy
know,
birthday to
happy
you.
birthday. And thanks to
Sweet
him,
thing.
he's the reason why we're having boxing in the LA Olympics.
Oh,
It's
yay.
because of him. He pushed for that.
Good for him. Good for him. You
Yeah.
carry the water for all of us, Gennady. Thank you. So I
All
said,
right.
so let me get myself together.
Make sure you guguys don't have Bob Santos in here.
Oh, that okay. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I was on live and I was talking to Bob Santos and I was supposed to interview Jose, but it just happened to be one came first and it was obvious. It was a really, really good interaction with you two. You guys were so respectful, and the way you guys were gonna say, "My boy's gonna kick your ass." No, my guy has better hands. No, my guy has powerful. It was so good. I really appreciate it. It was nice. I loved it. We need more. We need more nice shit talking like
True
that
professional.
between. It's very professional.
Yeah.
But again, welcome to the show, Jose Benavidez Sr. We have so much to talk about. We're gonna get right into it. Yesterday was a bombshell that was dropped. Congratulations to your son, David Benavidez, for being now the elevated WBC Light Heavyweight Champ. It's not the way that he anticipated on winning the belt. Can you just talk about how this all went down? If you're whatever you're able to say with the negotiations with Bivol, with Turkey, what happened? Were you guys even close? How far into the negotiations were you?
Oh, like you said, this is not the best way. I would have wanted to be in the new WC champion of the world, WBC. That would have been great. But, I know David worked so hard, to be where he's at. 5 years, we've been trying to get that belt, thank God. We went through a lot. Sometimes God works in different mysterious ways. And I'm very happy that we went through all that we went through because David matured so much, the team matured so much, and we learned a lot from it, To be honest with you, it was a great blessing in the sky. And now he's again a two-time world champion. He has the WBA normal champion belt too. So we're super excited, super happy. And we always knew that things were going to come out good. And we wanted the fight really bad with Bivol or Benavidez. We went to Saudi. We were invited by Turkey Al Hashim. They treated us real good, first class plane tickets, first class hotels. They gave us great seats. We were treated really good. We went and met His Excellency to his house. We met there with Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez was there too. So we were there and it was great. There was a lot of interest and we were super happy that we were going to be able to work with Al Heyman and His Excellency Turkey Al Hashim. Unfortunately, we couldn't stay there because our plane left at 2:30 in the morning and the fights were going to be starting at 1:30. So a lot of people were saying that we got kicked out or whatever. No, man, I want to thank everybody, Turkey's staff and everybody treated us real good and we had a lot of fun and everything was great. And we were there to promote and fight the winner of whoever won that fight, the 175 Benavidez and Bivol. But I don't know what happened. To be honest with you, there was a lot of interest with Turkey Al Hashim. They did come with some offers and we were negotiating and I don't know what happened. Finally, he said that he was not interested and it was okay with us. We tried to make those fights and make it happen with our promotion company, Premier Boxing, and everything looked good. Al Heyman was willing to make that fight happen. He treats David very good. I'm very thankful to Al Heyman, and he's always treated David with a lot of respect, and he takes care of him, and we're super happy with him, and we always been super happy with him, and he was willing to make that fight happen. We're gonna do what's it called,
Purse bid?
the purse bid. They were
Purse
gonna do the
bid
purse bid
today.
yeah, and they offer him $8 million to fight David Benavidez, and he turned it down. And I understand. I know that Bivol is a great fighter, but he's maybe thinking him and his team are probably thinking, David's going to take all those belts. Why don't we just let him have one, because you can lose all of them. So I think that's what happened, negotiations were great. I think that's the fight that everybody wanted to see, a fight between David Benavidez and Bivol or Beterbiev, but they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to take that chance, and they rather lose one belt than lose the 3 belts. So, we're happy where we at, and a lot of good things are coming. There was talks about us. We didn't know it was going to happen that fast. It was supposed to be today. It happened yesterday. But before, we didn't know what was going to happen. So we're thinking Sudo Ramirez, 5 versus 2 belt titles. I talked to his manager. Everything was going great, and they were down to make that fight happen. And we would have loved the opportunity to fight Sudo Ramirez. So that would have been a great fight. But now everything changes. Now I think we have to defend the title at least once or twice. There's Anthony Yard. There's Callum Smith that look really impressive. And maybe we could do a catchweight to fight for all the belts with Sudo Ramirez, or we could just go and fight for his titles at 175. So I think David's in a great position now. We're excited. We're excited to give the fans what they want to see. Good fights, 50-50 fights, and we're always trying to test our skills and give the fans what they want. The fights that are tough, exciting, and the reason we're doing that because we want to make history. David wants to make history, and he wants to be remembered by a great fighter like Julio Cesar Chavez, people that fought everybody. And money is okay, but at the end of the day, making history is bigger than that.
The WBC is at the forefront of this story because we saw Mauricio's tweet that he posted and the announcement that David got elevated. But what is happening on the WBA side of it? Because he's the mandatory for the WBA. Have they reached out to you? Is he going to vacate? Like, what's going to happen with that path?
Well, that's another interesting question. We were trying to get the WBC first. Now, David's the regular champion. Bivol the super champion. So you're going to give the other belt away little by little? Or you're just going to give them away? Or what's going to happen? I mean, that's the plan, We're very happy also with the WBC and WBA, and we're thinking about defending it and fight for it and try to get to the super champion, So if they make it mandatory too, we're down to fight anybody, whoever they put to fight for the WBA, the WBC. David Benavidez does not run from anybody, There's a lot of people that doubted him when he fought Caleb Plant. A lot of people that doubted him when he fought Bubu Andrade. A lot of people doubted him when he fought the best school of boxing, the best fighter that you only see every 30 years, David Morrell, and he took him to school. He took him to the deep waters and drowned him. So, we got to keep proving ourselves and giving the fans what they want.
Wow. Such a mess.
It is. What is going on? We try to get this Canelo fight. WBC makes David demand it. Can't get that.
All roads lead back to Canelo because Canelo wants that rematch with Bivol, and he was like maybe in hopes of getting all the belts, but now one of the belts is now back at David's lap.
Well, that's what happens when you create a Mexican monster like that, everybody, the guys that are named themselves the best in the division don't want to face the Mexican monster. But I believe that there is a lot of guys that would love to get the opportunity that want to show their skills also. So I think we're in a great position. But the real guys that say that they're the best, they don't want to face the Mexican monster. So now I'm going to have another problem pretty soon with Diego Pacheco. He's mandatory to fight Canelo also and all these guys. So we have another big problem going on.
Okay, let's talk about Diego really fast because that happened yesterday, and I'm like, my goodness, Jose, what's happening? Diego Pacheco was supposed to fight Christian Billy, but now it was for an interim belt, and now he's taking a fight with Trevor McCumbee. Is there any title on the line?
What happened?
Oh, okay.
So we were offered the Mbili fight for the Steven Nelson fight. They sent us a paper to sign, to fight for the interim, So we said, we're super excited. We signed it right away. We sent it right away in 5 minutes. Boom, it's done. So we're excited, thinking that we will fight him. And we got back with Matt, and they said that no, he didn't want to fight Diego. he had a fight coming up and he wanted to fight that fight and maybe the next fight. So we'll say, oh, perfect, not a problem. You know, we fight Steven Nelson and we come back. So we fight Steven Nelson, we come back, and the Billy fight is right there. They say, yeah, you guys want to fight for the, I talked to Mauricio and he said, yeah, you know, it's ready to go. Let's go. Let's just talk to the promotion company, you know. And we're super excited. You know, we're fighting for the interim WBC title, world title, you know. That's another step, super close to fight for the world title. And it'll be mandatory for all these guys that have those belts, you know. So now they said, okay, we got him Billy, we got McCombie, just in case if it doesn't happen or whatever. Like, no, we want him Billy, you know. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're happy fighting in Billy. We're happy fighting Trevor McCombie. The promotion company is the one that makes those decisions, you know. It doesn't matter what we want, you know. They know
What does the zone want?
I don't know. We don't have a contract signed yet. So we're down to fight and Billy. We're down to fight Trevor McCombie. And Billy's a tough fight. But I believe that Diego is ready. He's been looking impressive. He's been looking good. He's super young. And that's a great opportunity. Why let it go? So we're happy with that. So we're ready. We're ready for whatever the promotion company says, you know. Either way, if we don't get him Billy now, we get him next, you know. We're right there. We're right there. So we're excited, you know, whoever. Trevor McCombie is a tough fight too. Very strong. I know Trevor McCombie since he was 5 years old. His dad, and tremendous amateur career. Super powerful, very strong. He was giving Caleb Plant a little bit of trouble, and he got a little tired, and that's how Caleb Plant beat him. But I think he learned a lot from that fight, and that's a dangerous fight. So we're happy to fight whoever they put in front of us.
I must ask you, Jose, how do you feel? You know, we've talked about the people who have underestimated your fighters, and now how do you feel for the people who have underestimated you? Because you in like a nice little cherry position too.
Man, you know, I'm living in heaven right now, you know. I never in my life imagined, and I feel chills in my body right now because it's so much work, so many tears, so many days of not sleeping, you know, and trying to prove myself too. I didn't know nothing about boxing. I didn't know not even how to throw a jab. I was 26 years old. You know, I would ask God, you know, give me a sign. What am I good at? You know, I was still training my kids. I didn't see that sign until later. I'm like, oh, maybe I could be good for this. So I just started studying and watching a lot of videos, and you know, it was not easy to get here. I had to do my homework. I had to do my dues. I had to, you know, man, a lot of sacrifices with my family, my daughter, my wife, my kids, and you know, finally it paid off, you know. I'm not trying to brag, but this is beautiful, you know. This is a dream, you know. David getting titles, Diego Pacheco, man, being one of the best fighters too. You know, I just got Rayo Valenzuela from 0 fights to be a world champion. Now he's not with me. You know, he decided to go a different route, but it's amazing, you know.
The work was still put in.
Somebody, nothing. Yeah, nothing. But let me show you a little bit about. I got I broke my piggy bank, and I got the $2-3 that I had in there, and I went to the bank and got a loan and acquired a property at 20 acres. I have a private boxing gym here with a sauna, steam.
Is that the compound that you just opened up? I wanted to ask you about that.
Cold plunge, and then I have a hyperbaric chamber. I have everything here for the fighters. They don't have to go nowhere. And the reason I'm doing this is because, you know, fuck, if I did it, anybody could do it. You know, it's just, we just got to wake up in the morning. You know, there were some days that I wanted to quit. There were some days that, you know, I didn't see nothing. There were some days that I had to borrow money, you know, to be honest. And it was so difficult. It was so hard, you know, but, you know, like I say, you know, thank God, you know, I stick with it and work hard. And now, you know, I can't believe, you know, yesterday I was sitting here, you know, I'm like, wow, I come from nothing, you know, and to have all this and, you know, kids, I have a show here on Saturday, amateur show here.
Oh, okay.
I brought some kids here to spar 2 times already. And they were like, whoa, the moms were, whoa. And I told them, hey, you know, you can have this and more. You guys could be better.
Yeah.
You know, so just the motivation of the kids and the moms, you know, and the parents, you know, that anything could be done. And that makes me really happy, you know, to see people that are motivated, like how we were once. I remember when David and Junior, you know, we used to see these professional fighters and we're like, whoa, Sam Judah, wow, Mike Tyson, oh, Julio Cesar Chavez, like, wow. Now we hang around with all these people. It's like they're normal fucking people, you know.
And now
Man,
they look at
So
you and David like that, like, oh my God, I want to be just like you one day. You
yeah,
can,
exactly.
you
You know,
can.
oh my God, I can't believe you, Mr. Benavidez. Like, come on, bro, I'm nobody, bro. You know, I'm just a normal person, you know.
you are
But
somebody.
You
yeah, you
are.
know, but
Oh,
at the end
keep
of the
your
day,
head
you know,
high.
we gotta stay grounded and you know, this could be done tomorrow.
Hmm.
But you
Man,
know, but you know, the me having this, doing this, you know, it's like shit, I could die tomorrow happy, you know, because fuck, we kind of did it, you know, like it's amazing from not having nothing to have all this and because of boxing and you know, putting your life inside the ring and risking everything and still keep going, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing.
the first time I ever met you, now as I see and you walk around, the first time I remember ever meeting you in real life was at the Fortune Gym. And you were there with Jose Jr. He was training for, I can't remember who he was fighting at the time, but it was at the Fortune Gym. And I don't even think David was fighting pro yet.
Yeah, he was super young. Yeah,
Man,
maybe he just I think Junior was just fighting like fighters, you know, just to build them up. Yeah, nobody with the name. So
check
uh
you out.
Look
yeah,
at
so
Check
that.
you out.
man, that's a long, long time ago, you know. If I look back at that time, man, I remember we're living in Hollywood, man. One day I was about to just go back to Arizona because I had no money. And you know, Junior, David and Junior were very small. Like I think Junior was like 17, David was like about 13, somewhere around there. And we were broke, you know. And I went to McDonald's, and at that time they had two hamburgers for $1.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and you know, I got David a hamburger, Junior a hamburger, and like, hey, you're not gonna eat? I'm like, no, I'm not hungry. Nah, I'm not. Fuck, I was, man, starving. But
Oh,
you know, it's like those moments I really remember a lot. You know that it was
Hallelujah.
terrible.
I'm happy. I'm really happy for you.
I know.
I
I did.
feel you.
I didn't expect this interview. Have you shown people your
Nobody,
compound?
nobody. I just
So
came
this
here
is
right now.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm dropping this interview tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Hold
might
on
do the
one second.
cribs
One second.
today. I know you probably get tons and tons and tons of hopefuls that want to come be with you. How do you vet who you want there? Like
Yeah.
Well, you
everyone has
know,
different criteria. What
you know,
really
if
locks
you
it in
tell
for
me
you?
right now, if you tell me, hey, Jose, you know, my dream is to become a world champion. I want to come and train with you guys. My doors are open for everybody, anybody, you know. I'm blessed to have a great team behind me. We train kids, you know. We train people that love boxing, so I can't turn people away. Uh,
Mm,
Yeah.
I might not be training them because I'm really busy with the fighters, but if I have time, you know, I go there and work with them and I just make their day, you know.
Hmm.
But everybody's welcome here. I have two gyms. I have this house here, and then I have another gym in downtown Buren,
mhm,
Washington.
mhm.
And I don't know, man. I cannot say no to no one. So
That's
if somebody
awesome.
wants to train here and it doesn't matter if they're gonna fight or not. I have a kid that I talked to a mom, and the kid moved from Miami. He gained a lot of weight, and he's very depressed, and he's more into like the gadgets and all that, and it's very depressing. So
Hmm.
she brought him here. We try to make him happy. The kid can't really move that much because you know he's a little heavy, but in my mind, I tell my guys just play with them, man. You know, just make them feel comfortable little by little. You know, we'll work with them a little bit more, but don't try to kill him the first day because
Right.
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
not
gonna
gonna come
want to come
back.
back no more, and then he's gonna
But
say
it's a
that,
start.
oh,
It's a
we
start for him, and
we
that's
gotta
all
give him
that matters.
motivation. We gotta give him
Yeah.
motivation. We gotta give him confidence that he has another family and that we care about him,
Mm,
you know. And
mm,
the kid is super
mhm.
happy, you know. Is happy and you know he feels now that you know he feels like he's a boxer now. That's what we
Mhm.
want him to feel, you know.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Look at
So,
that. Oh, it's so sweet.
This has
It's
warmed my heart. This is
this
very nice.
is it really is. It really is. Because I was just telling Jeandra when you put us on hold, I thought like our whole conversation would be like this whole Bivol, what we always talk about, just to hear your story of you being hungry to feed your kids. And now look at what you have. Like I said, it's the fruits of your labor.
Hallelujah.
It like God made this happen. You made this happen, all the hard work. As much as you wanted to give up, you didn't. And you're a testament. You're proof.
To be honest, every day I'm in a cloud, I go so happy to go to sleep. I wake up, drink my coffee, and man, it's like, wow, I don't know how God, I've been meditating a lot. I've been visualizing. I've been learning more about the energy of the sun, the universe, the numbers, and vibrations, and all that, man. I finally found peace, I think, and I feel so happy. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I get stressed a lot, but all this helps with all that, Before I didn't know what to do. I would be depressed. But now I just come out and breathe and thank God for giving me another day. And I thank God, thank you for this
Amen.
calendar. Wow, these challenges are
Amen.
good, because otherwise, if it was just nothing but happiness, it would be bored, you
Mhm.
know. So,
Amen.
so I mean, it's great, I'm living in a cloud, like I said, every day. To me, all this is super new, and I'm just trying to digest it, like good and enjoy it at the same time, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it, but I know that I gotta keep working hard because it doesn't end here. I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta hustle, 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 and treat people nice and give people hope, and motivate people, and it's just amazing.
This is sweet. This is so
Mm,
great. Oh my God, Jose, you're gonna make us cry.
for real. I feel you.
Oh,
I feel you,
You guys
friend.
almost
I
made
feel
me
you.
cry, remembering all that, almost I like man, but thank God it didn't happen. But you guys were very close to making me cry. Just good.
Oh man. One day I'm gonna have to catch you. Next time I catch you in the media room, I'm gonna share a similar story with you about I feel you.
Yeah,
I
but
feel you, fam. I feel you.
thank you, thank you.
oh,
It's just about
yeah,
getting up and going to work. Never giving up, never giving up.
yeah.
I was so close to giving up, so many times, like, I can't do this no more,
The breakthrough was
but
right there. It was right there.
yeah.
That's dope.
Wow. Well, I know we're gonna see you soon because we're gonna your son's gonna be fighting for his first title defense in August, September, I believe. I read. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
true.
that's what we're aiming right now. I was just talking to David right now. Um, they're expecting another boy on the way, like May,
I
and
know.
yeah, so he's super excited that that's gonna be my third grandson. I got two grandsons and a granddaughter, and
Congrats.
he's really kind of enjoying. Also, he's also uh, we're always together, so that's why we started, you know, connecting with God and the universe, and he's the one that started all this. So I just follow, hey dad, you know about this, you know about frequencies, you know about numbers, and
Hmm.
man, I got into it, and like, whoa, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, no, he wants
Love
to
it.
spend a little bit of time. He's still moving. He called me, he got out of the gym right now. He went to the gym, maintaining and all that, and super excited, super motivated, and we were talking about the plan, what we were gonna do, and how we should do things, and he gave me his ideas, I gave him my ideas, and uh, we're trying to put them together.
When you found out that Bivol vacated, were you the one notified first, or was David by Mauricio? How did you find out?
It was so funny because Luis de Cubas notified him. I talked to Samsung earlier, and everything happened at the same time in different ways. Then I was gonna call David, and then he called me. So it was, he already knew, I already knew, so it was kind of super fast. But I think that Luis de Cubas called him first, and he was the one that's supposed to know the news. So but it was amazing. It was incredible. It was I was a little bit sad, but like, man, fuck, we want to fight that guy. He's one of the best fighters in the world. That would have been a great fight. But like I said, I think the fight's still gonna happen. I don't know.
They're
If he
gonna
loses,
come. They're gonna
Yeah, they're
come.
gonna come.
And
Who did you think won? Because I remember when I asked David, he thought Bivol won both fights. He predicted the second fight for Bivol,
yeah,
and
I
he
think
believed the first one. Who did you
I,
think won the first and second?
I think when they were gonna do the announcement, I thought, yeah, Big Bull won. I hope he doesn't get robbed. You know, so I mean, he was a little bit more active, and Benavidez was just looking for one shot, and I think he did maybe by 1 point. It was very close fight. The second
Mhm.
one, it was kind of the same. So I'm thinking, who wants to see the third one? I mean, there was no action. There was nothing special about it. So I think it's going to be the same fight. So maybe a fight in between, and the winner of that fights the whoever, David, and go around. That would have been more exciting, I believe. But
Yeah.
like I said, I think he won both of those fights. Uh, but they're two great fighters, super strong fighters, really good fighters. So, um, you know,
I was just telling Jeandra earlier, and we've said this many times on the show. I mean, credit to Turkey because how many times have we ever gotten a rematch and a trilogy in less than 2 years? Like never until
yeah, I
recently.
think a lot of
The
people
Tyson
ask me,
Fury.
yeah, a lot of people tell me, what do I think about all this that's happening right now? I think it's great,
Yeah.
with Jake Paul bringing a lot of fans, YouTubers, and trying to, look what he's doing, man. He's not even a real fighter, but he is working hard, and he is bringing a lot of money and a lot of people, new people to boxing. That's a great thing,
Mhm.
you know. Uh, His Excellency Turki Al-Hashim, look what he's done.
Yeah.
Big events, now they're going to have a big event in down Times Square. Who the hell would ever do that? So I think now he's working with that guy from the UFC. What's his name?
Dana
Forgot his
White.
name.
Dana White,
Dana White. Now they're doing something.
the boxing league.
Yeah,
Mhm.
TKO. So I think that's great because they can sign the guys that these big promoters don't want to sign.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's great. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's gonna complain. Everybody's gonna.
Everyone always complains.
Yeah. There's
That's the
got to
Always,
be
only.
always
some
complain.
complaint.
But at the end of the day, I have guys that are not going to sign with the big promotion company. Maybe I
Mm.
have a chance there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
to make
Yeah,
sense.
because the middle
So
the
I think
middlemen and
everything now with
the guys at the bottom, they need a platform. They need something.
Yep.
yeah, of course. Right now, it's so difficult to sign somebody with a big promotion company like Oscar De La Hoya, PVC, Top Rank, and the Zone. It's super hard. There is a lot of talent up there, but they just don't get the opportunities. The only ones that are getting the opportunities are the Olympians, that went to the Olympics, and or fighters that already have like 20 fights
Yeah.
and they're undefeated. So to me, it's great. It's a great, great, great opportunity for these fighters. Everything that's going around in boxing is giving boxing more life, and it's more excitement. Now we have the Teofimos fighting the what's it called, the
Barboza.
Barbosas and the Berlangas. Even though I think Berlanga's a circus, but still,
We were just talking about it.
yeah, I never seen a guy
A
celebrating so much for a
a
defeat.
lot.
A laughing
Yeah.
stock.
I mean, I always said that, Berlanga's a great fighter, man. He has good IQ. He's young. He's strong, but just the discipline, I think
Mm.
I mean, hanging
Mm.
around with all those singers and all that, but
Hey, he said he bring Jennifer
Then I
Lopez.
was like, we haven't seen J-Lo yet in his corner.
yeah,
So,
but he's crazy, he's a little nuts, but if he would have disciplined himself, man, he would be one of the greatest. He has a lot of talent, but the thing is, sometimes money goes to your head too much, and he thinks he's a super champion. He's the A side. He's a cash cow. He's like now he's his own promoter. So good luck with that, buddy. You gotta be careful.
has David ever thought
But
about fighting Berlanga?
listen, let me tell you a story. So when they were coming up, right? I remember
Yeah.
David won his first title. And Berlanga started opening his mouth. Oh, yeah, I could beat David Benavidez. I won that fight. I'll knock this boy out, and this and that. I'm like, okay. I got the number of his manager, Keith. I believe it's Keith.
Yep.
So I tell him, hey, sir, how you doing? With all the respect, I heard that you manage Berlanga. and I wanted to see if you guys want to make that fight. I think that's a great fight. Let's make that fight happen. And he's like, Mr. Benavidez, David would fuck up Berlanga right now. You know, Berlanga's not ready right now, but maybe in the future, make that fight happen. And I told him, well, thank you so much, sir. Definitely, I'm looking forward to maybe in the future make that fight happen. He's a great fighter, and I tried to make that fight because he was talking a lot of stuff. And one time I saw him and I say, hey, you're a great fighter. You can become one of the greatest, because I really believe so. Yeah. If he disciplines himself. Now, and that was like about 3 years ago that I said that, right?
Oh,
it's recent.
Yeah.
So he comes on the show like about a year ago, and he said, oh yeah, David Benavidez, he's this, that. He's talking a lot of shit about David, right? And his father also, he's a crab. One time he came and he said that, yeah, you're a great fighter. Yeah, you're one of my favorite fighters or something like that.
He left off the other part.
Yeah, like, yeah, he's a crab. Yeah, he sees me and he's, oh, yeah, you're a great fighter. So I'm like, man, I did say that. I said that you could be one of the great fighters. He's young, strong. I like him. He's marketable. I mean, fuck, when I saw him, I thought this motherfucker looks big for that weight,
Yeah. He does.
Strong, like, how the fuck does he do 168? I was in shock, to be honest with you. He's a great fighter. Like I said, he got skills. He's been training for a long time. And I'm not ashamed and I'm not embarrassed to say that, he's a good fighter.
Now that you know Caleb Plant and you've seen Edgar Berlanga, if that fight were to ever happen, which it should have been the next fight, who would win that fight and how would it end?
I will bet my money on Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant showed me that he's a fucking dog. He's very disciplined. He takes care of his body. He's a great father, a great husband. And he's focused. He's a good fighter. And I think he has a lot of experience and he gained a lot of experience. And the most important thing, like I said, he's very focused, very disciplined, and he's a true professional. Okay. I will bet all my money on Caleb Plant. It will be a little tough, but I believe that Caleb Plant can pull it off and look really good against Edgar Berlanga.
We wanted that. We wanted that fight. I don't.
Yeah, Edgar Berlanga doesn't want it. He just talks. I mean, he wants to pay him. He wants to pay him what? He said he wants to pay him $1 million, and he takes 7-8 million. But Eddie Hearn did not want to do that. When Eddie Hearn knew he could make a lot of money with them. But I don't know if you guys heard that.
No, we haven't heard figures. We always hear things, but we don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, but came up with that. Yeah, that he talked to Eddie Hearn to pay this guy $1 million, pay him $7 million, and
Eddie, I can totally be like, what?
What
the fuck are you talking about,
hell, mate? Bloody hell, mate.
Yeah.
Eddie,
he's
like, did Canelo hit you that hard? Like, seriously, like, why?
I don't know. It's these East Coast guys. These East Coast guys are a trip.
I don't know. Oh my goodness. Jeandra, do you have any more so we can wrap up?
That would be a great fight too. That would be a great fight with also Diego Pacheco. We want that fight.
I wanted Berlanga and Diego Pacheco. I've asked for that. I've been saying that.
Watching this, and I'm pretty sure that he's gonna watch this, and his manager, hey, let's make it happen. Let's go.
Keith is gonna be like, I never said that about Edgar Berlanga. David. Sorry, Keith. He just said it.
He said, "Hey,
you guys don't come for us. Come for Dave. I mean, come for Jose." Yeah. We just did.
Okay, I have one more question. So you said you went to Turkey's house while you were in Saudi. What's something that you can say that you saw in his house where you were like, damn, how much did that cost?
It's so funny because we're driving and it's, like, and then I see people out and like, I'm thinking, how does he come through here? And then, there's people on the side, they're chilling, relaxing. And then we keep going by like little mountains, right? And then I see walls around the house, so I'm thinking maybe that's where he lives. And then you kind of peek a little bit and you see some glimpses in there, and it looked kind of nice. So as soon as we arrived, there's a lot of security there. The doors open, and wow, wow, wow.
Gold? Just gold? Did you see a lot of gold?
Not a lot of gold, but
A
a
lot.
lot of stuff. So
A lot of
we come
wealth.
into
A lot
to
of
the house,
wow.
and so we come into the house, and the first thing I see, Muhammad Ali with the guy that's laying on the ground.
Yeah, that statue.
That statue, like, what the man? This guy loves boxing. You know?
Yeah. I've seen it in a lot of his pictures.
Yeah, it's beautiful. To be honest with you, maybe that's one of his houses. I don't think he took us to the real house.
He took you out to the little house.
That's just his little boxing, his
little
hobby,
house. That's the
his hobby
kickback.
house.
Maybe that's a little office or something. That little office was like big office. Like, wow. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I could imagine.
Oh wow.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a great experience. The people over there, super nice. Man, they were treating us really good. So I have nothing but good memories over there.
I do. I mean, before we wrap up, why did you book your flight for 2:30 if you guys knew the fights were super late?
I mean, we're going to Saudi. Boom, boom, went and came back right away. Like it was like something quick. Something. We didn't want to stay there. David was we had a lot of things to do. So it's like, you guys have to go. We're like, no, we can't go. So you know what they did? Actually, the only reason we went, we were not going to go because we're super busy, right? So they gave us from Seattle to LA, they gave us a private jet. So I was like, whoa, private jet. Oh, wow. So from Seattle to LA, and from LA, we had to board. I've never been in a plane that has 2 stories.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Double deck. Yeah. Those are overnight ones. Yeah.
It had a bed and drinks and bar, and I didn't even drink or nothing like that, but people were partying over there. I was like, what the,
They're like full on apartments in these planes now.
And you just, hey, I want something, It's like everything was paid, food and all that. And man, I was like, I didn't even feel the flight because I slept the whole way. I just woke up to eat. Hey, time to eat. Go to sleep.
Man, because you don't never get to rest like that.
Yeah,
never.
You probably got your best rest on a plane.
But that's the thing, that we had to go like super quick. We thought, the fights were going to be over at 1, and we had enough time to leave and all that. But the fights were to start at 1:30.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was super late, and yeah. So that's the reason we didn't know. So.
Yeah, because I heard chatter and I read online that allegedly David and Turkey and you guys had some kind of something, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but I wasn't at the fights, and I'm like, let me just ask Jose.
No.
But yeah, at least I'm glad that you cleared that up.
We met a lot of people. They treated us real good, first class, everything, nice. First class, and they even Turkey even offer, once you guys stay, we'll book your plane for the next day or whatever. And nice. We're like, nah, we really have to go, man. I'm sorry, but at least we were there. We met with them, and everything was great. He treated us real good, and I can't say nothing but good things. Everything was top of the line, man. Like never in my life I've been treated that way. So it was great.
Blessings on blessings. Jose, we thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for showing us your beautiful new compound. We're so proud of you. We really are. For real. It was really sweet.
I'm not into diamonds or nothing. I don't have anything. All I do is save, and thank God I did save to buy this house, and it's a dream true, having a camp. I always dream of having a private gym like this, and it is done. So now we gotta work hard to maintain, so we are gonna do that.
Thank you so much, Jose. Do you have any final words, Jeandra?
No, just a pleasure as always. Good to be back with you. Congratulations on baby Taurus that's coming in the month of May. So yay, Tauruses. We all got to stay together, and we can't wait to talk to you again after this.
I know. Well, I'll see you in the media room. We'll see you in the media room.
For sure.
Thanks. Thank you, Jose. Wow, Jay. I didn't.
It's always a good time with him. It's always a good time. We got a tour.
We got all the Keith Connolly about Edgar Berlanga and David.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot.
This is a great episode for those of you who love the Spotify version of our show too, because this is a lot to listen to. We probably have to cut out the crib section of it
As a whole episode.
You know, yeah, we're gonna have to put the crib section on a whole nother separate video. But yeah, this is great.
This is fun. Oh man, Jay, like he really answered the questions, and now we know what happened with David and the whole Bivol thing. But they're still positive that they'll hopefully go around and fight him. Whoever wins, either or, they want to fight either or, Beterbiev or Bivol. They're both great fighters. We want to know who too. Now he has Callum Smith, Anthony Yard. I remember David said he would move up to fight Zurdo. I didn't know that they were already in talks to be the next fight, possibly. But good for you, David. Congratulations. I mean, email champ or not, you rightfully deserve the belt now. I mean, after you've been screwed so many times. Many years, and you enjoy it. Can't wait to see you in the ring, hopefully August or September. Jay, you got to come out for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Come out, party for that. All right, there's not much more, but just be on the lookout for all the interviews, for all the footage, all the content that's dropping. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and engaging with us. I know you guys all have so much shit to say on our channel, but we love it.
Yeah, but keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Who knew? That whole Clarissa, Papoose, Shakur.
Keep it coming.
Iana Roxy's weigh-in outfit. I'm curious to see what's going to look. I think it's going to have cotton balls. I think so. Cotton balls. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Jay, I miss you. I love that hairdo on you. Ooh.
This Curly J is back. Man, Curly J hasn't been around since we first started the show. I stopped wearing my hair curly because I didn't like how the earphones looked when we were doing it in the studio. So Curly J is back.
It's so sexy, fun. I'll be seeing you very soon for your birthday for the Inoue fight. It's going to be fun stuff. All right, another one in the can. Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LaBeouf.
See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.